Hello, my dear crafty friends. It's good to see you. Okay, let's scroll down and see who's here. I know I saw. Okay, there's Thelma and Mary R. Irene, Debbie. Let's see. Who's watching? Hello, Kim Greenwood. It's good to see you. I was worried about you. And I think that's it for now. We have so much fun ahead of us, guys. Oh my gosh. I had a great time on vacation, and one of the things we did one whole day we were gone, we didn't leave the hotel room, and Bryce played on his games and shot up bad guys, and I played with watercolors all day long. It's so fun. Oh my gosh. So much fun. So we're going to be looking primarily today at, we're going to look at four products, 5 products. Okay, you guys have asked me before about these, and I never actually tried one on the air, so we're going to use these. I have to say this is fabulous. These are not inexpensive. They're some of the more expensive watercolors, but they are really, really highly pigmented, highly pearlized, and they are wonderful, wonderful, wonderful paints. And we'll see some samples from those. We are going to look at our watercolor paints. This is the Jane Davenport that I'm shaking up. Hi, Terry. It's good to see you. This is the Jane Davenport that I'm looking up, and the Jane Davenports turned out to be my favorite. I'll show you why. This is regular watercolor ink in a bottle, and this is pearlescent watercolor in a bottle. All of these are from Cosmic Shimmer. If I counted right, and I don't know that I did, there's like 32 colors in total. If you had all of the colors of all 3, Bryce is rolling his eyes at me because, yes, I do. They asked me what colors I had to take to the beach. I said, all of them. So I now own all of them. Hey, Sharma. Good to see you, friend. This is the pearlescent. Actually, that's really kind of fortunate that I grabbed those 3 all in purple, because now I can show you the differences between the 3. And then this is another product we're going to look at, because we did not look at these, and this is my last session with you for a little while, until after I have my surgery and can recover. So Margie handed me this at the last minute and said, be sure you show them how to use botanical stains. So that's in our future. We will do that today. Let's start. I think I'm kind of excited that I got 3 colors of this. So let's start with that. And let's just get a piece of card out here. And this is watercolor card. I can't tell you what brand it is because it was in a box labeled watercolor card. I'm going to start by spritzing my watercolor card. I'll over spritz that a little bit. Sometimes these fine mist sprayers aren't so fine. And I'm going to spritz that. I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to get the other side wet because it will lay down better. I'm always surprised when people don't show you this trick because it just lays right back down.
Put up your water bottle.
Okay. We're going to start. This is regular watercolors. And these little bottles are fun. See this little button on the top? That's the applicator button. Instead of having a little squeeze bulb up there, they have a push button, and the push button both releases the water from the tube and it collects it. So I'm going to start by just putting a few drops of watercolor. This is regular watercolor out on my paper. I'm going to spritz this just a tiny bit more. My other side was drying by the time that I laid the watercolor on this side, so it's ruffling just a little on me, but that's okay. Regular watercolor, and you can see it kind of spreading out there. It's beautiful. This time I'm going to use the pearlescent watercolors, and I'm just going to add some more color to this. So I'm going to drop some droppers full. You can see the difference between the two in that not only is there a slight difference in color, but the pearlescent has kind of a sheen to it. You might need to come in a little closer to see that, honey. I'm not sure. I'm going to give that a little more water. A little bit of a pearlescent sheen to this one. And finally, I'm going to go back and see what's going on with Irene. I'm going to use the and I'm going to put some droppers full of that on my cardstock. Now, I'm going to choose to mop off a little of this and just kind of spread it with my towel, because that's what kind of background I'd like to have. Oh, this is pretty. This is very, very pretty. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, you guys. Look here. How gorgeous is that? You see the little sparkles in it? The sparkles are both the pearlescent and then the Jane Davenport. I actually like that. I'm going to let it run a little bit. That's fun. The Jane Davenport has microfine, ultra fine glitter in it. So the difference between the three are I have plain watercolor, I have, and that was the, I'm not sure which one that was now, the darker purple, I think, was the plain watercolor. And then I have the pearlescence, and I have the, what would happen? You just sometimes have to ask, what would happen if we just dropped a couple more drops on there now? I don't know. Let's find out. I'm going to put a little more pearlescent on there. And let's put a little more of that Jane Davenport. Where did that go? There it is. Can you see that the Jane Davenport has sparkle in it? Can you see that, guys? Now, one of the things we're seeing in our little experiment here is what would happen if you toss a little salt on top. I don't have salt in here, or I would try it. You might get some really neat crystals, though. I'm going to take a little bit off. Why put it on and take it off? Why not? Just add a little more variation. Okay, I think we're going to stop on this one. But you get really good spread of these paints. See that? There you can see the sparkles a little more. You get really good spread with this paint and the liquid watercolors on top of water. Next, we're going to drop it onto a dry sheet, and we're going to see what the difference is if we start dry and then go to wet. Table, please. Yeah, you're going to have to get up, Teddy. This is going to be we have to move things because I have no room left to work on my desk.
Surprise.
Here, I might put this under the edge of it where it looks like it's pooling. It's going to drip there. Okay, let's get another piece of watercolor card out. I would love to do that. Look in the top drawer over there and see if there's any salt packets, would you, honey? Oh, I said we weren't going to put any water on to start with. So let's do the same thing. It's already curling because I have water on my table. Let's do the same thing, but this time I'm just going to put the drops on and we'll add the moisture after the fact. See how they just kind of maintain their drop shape? I have to say, I like the control of these little dropper caps. I just wondered if one of those little fork and spoon packets there might have salt in it. That's our regular watercolors. In the time we use, you probably could run to the kitchen and get some salt. We'll do a separate one with salt because I still want to show you this technique. Okay, so I've got my little droppers full everywhere. Now I'm going to go ahead and spray it. And I do get spread, but I want you to notice how much more distinctive the drops are when I started with droplets on dry paper and then moved to adding the watercolors afterwards. We tend to get spots that are related to those, where those placements originally were. A couple kind of bare spots here, which I actually really wouldn't mind, but I'm gonna put just a few more drops on. Love that. That's beautiful too. I'm gonna show you a couple dry ones here. And now I've got all this beautiful paint on the table. I can't help myself. We're gonna have to do a dip and drag too. It just must be done, guys. Just must be done. Got all that beautiful paint. I have to take a piece of cardstock and do this. Yeah, that's pretty much what I've got going on here. This is, in fact, I think this is a 6-foot table, Sharma. And I have no room to work because I've had so many supplies out in the last couple weeks and I haven't put them all away yet. They're all sitting on my desk in little piles. Okay, this is for Thelma. Oh, there's Elsie. Hi, Elsie.
Paper towel, please.
Okay, get a little salt here. A few little salt crystals on top there. You get it. Oh, look, it's already doing fun stuff, Thelma. Get a little spritz of water. I can't help it. I got it. Oh, that is pretty. There's the answer to your question. What would happen if, Thelma? It's more of that paint. That's pretty. Let's give just a little bit more ink. By the time I get done here, because I'm playing with the water and I'm playing with the color, adding more color, so I'll probably end up with a similar look to all of my prints, other than this one has these nice granules in it that are fun. So that's what happens if you ever want to try an experiment. You just have to say, what will happen if, Debbie? Because I'm almost always game for an experiment. Yeah, I like the little crystal look. And it really concentrates the color around the crystals, which is interesting. Just a little bit more. Once I kind of smush some of it off. I'll let that sit for just a second before I pick it up, because I really like the way it's kind of splotched around there and sitting there. That's nice. Okay.
Put a paper towel under it.
Oh, come on, honey. I only have 2 hands.
Well, use them.
Okay, let's clean up my mess here. Go through a lot of paper towels and baby wipes when I'm watercoloring. Thank you, Elsie. Reminding everybody about the thumbs up. I love that. So we saw the 3 different colors of ink there. I think that's really fun. Let's try something similar, but not exactly the same. Let's get a piece of card. I'm going to get the back wet to start with. It just behaves better if you get it wet on the back. And now I want to do some finger painting. I get it wet on the front too, because it's going to curl up on me otherwise.
I suggest using rock salt in your shaker cards, which works really well.
Oh, that's a good idea. Huh. This doesn't spread out in a line quite like some of the other tints that we used. But you guys kind of know what I'm going for when I say that I'm going to finger paint. Ah! Hello. Oh, I'm glad it's watercolor. It should come out of my shirt as long as I wash it soon. This is the pearlescent color again. Let's get that glittered color. My fingers are kind of slippery from having my hand stuck in the water. That's why it's always good that you guys have a lot of interaction, because you can teach more than, the combined total of our experiences is better than any one person's experience. So you add such great ideas. Okay. And I'm just going to finger paint. My goal is not to make the color absolutely even. My goal is to mix those colors a bit, but I want the distinct colors to still show. And it's okay if not everything is covered. Oh, I do love that. I do love that. You keep picking up the dog. I'm going to have constant moving back and forth to the table. Drop the paper towel with my creation there. Okay, this one's ready to go. Teddy, stop distracting your daddy. Did such a good job of getting that one stuck down. I can't get under it. That's beautiful. That's going to make a great background. Love that. Okay. I want to try something else here. I want to make sure we have time to get to some more of your cards. So I'm going to kind of move right through some of these. Let's do a little bit of watercolor painting directly onto dry cardstock. I need to get some colors here. I want green. It's not quite green. That's a nice teal. That actually would be nice for my leaves. Let's get that one. I need the regular black. That would be the regular black, licorice black there. I want that. I want blue skies. I want that one. I want...
Yes, well, there'll be Teddy time.
If you'd like Teddy time, we'll make it happen. So let's see. Let's just start by doing my two containers. These are the plain watercolors. The colors I have here are licorice black and sky blue. I only need just the smallest amount of this. Let's see, how can we do that? I'm trying to get them to be able to see where I'm mixing this. Can you move the camera a little bit? Oh, black. Gonna add some water because of course this is watercolors. So by adding water to it, I can dilute the color. Colors would be very intense right now. And that's not the brush I want. It's got a little water in it too. Okay, by adding water to it, I can kind of dilute that color. So I'm going to drop a drop of water on my table. I'm going to pull in some black, get myself some gray going here. And I want my canisters and my vase to be kind of a blue-gray. So I'm liking what I got going. In fact, I'm liking what I got going with the black. That's good. I'll pick up a little of that blue. Oh, that's way more blue than I wanted. Remember how I said blue tends to take over in these colors? It does. Let's try that again. I think I need less blue. I probably have enough in my pen already. Let's get some more black. That's blue sky there. Where did the black go?
Say hi to Mary Panko.
Hi, Mary. It's good to see you, my friend. Been seeing you for a little while. Okay, let's see. What did I just do with that black? I'd lose my head if it wasn't attached, guys. I really would. Glorious grape. That's not what I wanted.
Hi to Carol Williams.
Well, I might have to move forward and use a different color. Interest of time. What did I do with that? I just had it here, guys. I just did have it. You saw that, right? I keep grabbing the same colors over again. I guess I'm going to have to vary my pattern a little bit. Instead of black, I'll use this grape. I'll be careful how much blue I put in it this time. Actually, that's going to be a very pleasant color. I'm only going to use the blue in the brush, I think, because that is a very, a little bit more. It's a very intense blue. And I wanted to paint my canister. This stamp set is from Heartfelt Creations. Since I'm using watercolor and the strokes will show a lot, I'm going to kind of follow the lines of the can around. Doesn't mean I can't ever take a stroke the other direction, but it will look more like the can is rounded if I keep my strokes going the direction of the round. So side to side.
Hi, Catherine.
Hi, Catherine. Now, I do have a cutting die for this, so I don't really have to be absolutely accurate in my painting. I enjoy that. Ooh, ended up with a really neat color, kind of a periwinkle sort of color. I like that. I'm going to put that on this canister down here too. Once again, I'm going to follow the lines of my can around a little bit. This one's kind of squared off. So what I might do, slopped a little bit there, doesn't matter because I'm going to use a cutting die. I'm going to give this just a little bit more intensity along the corners.
Thelma says, what ink did you stamp with?
I used hybrid ink. I used G45 hybrid. You can use any hybrid ink, but that's what I used. Okay, a mess. Yeah, and then it won't bleed my color. It won't bleed into my colors at all if I use a hybrid. I either need to use a hybrid or an alcohol-based ink. And that way the colors will stay true. Okay. Let's use something else. I have a green here somewhere that's very pretty. It's jade. I need to make some little, here's holly green. I need to make some little toppers for my caps. What I want to do is I'm going to take and make some color splotches with each one of these. And then I'm going to take my paper punch and I'm going to punch out little dots and put the colors on top of the bottle. It's pearlescent. I didn't get a lot of pearl. I need to mix that up a little more. That is such a beautiful program, The Chosen. Bryce and I have really enjoyed that. Okay, there we go. Got some pearlescent color going now. Have to mix these up fairly often because the powder will sink to the bottom. You have to, the downside to these is the pearlescent color and the glitter have to be mixed pretty often or you lose that pearlescent effect. It just kind of drops to the bottom of the bottle. The good news is it's there, so all you got to do is shake it up again, and they do shake back up well. Now, I'm not going to be particularly fussy about how I paint this, guys, because I'm going to cut it out with a cutting die. So all the edges where I go over, they're all going to get cut off. Sometimes we get just too worried about being perfect. And you don't have to be perfect when you're cutting the edges off. I enjoy that about having stamps that I have dies to match. I've gotten actually very spoiled by having stamps with dies to match. that when I don't have a die and I have to be more careful, I kind of think, wow,
Hi to Kim and
why did I
girls.
use this one? Excuse me?
Hi to Kim and girls.
Oh, hello, three pink roses. How you doing, Camel Girls? So, Cosmic Shimmer Watercolors. I may have told you I'm having surgery on Thursday. I was wrong. Bryce corrected me last night. He said, you keep saying you're having surgery on Thursday. By Thursday, it will be all over and you should be home. You will be having surgery on Wednesday. So Margie will be here for What's New Wednesday, and we'll probably have a video for you next weekend because I doubt that I'm going to be back that fast. But we'll cue a video up for you, and so you guys still have an opportunity to get together and chat, because I want to do that for you. Okay, and we have a little leaf on the ground here. Beautiful thing about watercolor, or about liquid, let me try this again, water pens, is that you can pick up the color and then you can change color simply by pressing a little water through the tip and wiping it off. I love that. That is fun. So I have more that I could paint here, but I think that in the interest of time, I will show you this one finished. I did paint it with different colors, but this one, here's my flower pot. Asked Bryce what color tulips he wanted. He wanted orange tulips. I made orange tulips that are lighter in the center. Here's a tulip. So that's where we're going with that. We'll set that aside to dry. And let's think for a minute about a background for our card. And I need to have an interesting color. How about like a yellow? Or golden? What do you think about that for the background? Or I could do kind of, I do have teal. Actually, maybe I should go with what I've already got here, because then we can just use one of the ones I've already done. We'll do that. I'm going to, the next technique we're going to do is we're going to grab another piece of watercolor card here. And we're going to paint, as I figure out what I did with it, paint with a sponge. You see my sponge? Here somewhere. There it is, it's on the floor, right next to me. So I'm going to put a little paint out on my palette. I'm going to move these while I'm working so I don't end up with paint all over them, because it would do just like me to do that. Okay, look at this color, guys. You see that? Ooh, beautiful. I'm going to put some paint out on my palette, also known as my glass mat. I'm going to grab a natural sponge. Let me get my sponge itself just a little wet. And we're going to pick up some texture and put it on our card. I love this, the way this technique works out. So, so pretty. Isn't that fun? Look at that. And I'm using the Jane Davenport glittered paint watercolors, glittered watercolors. So I'm getting not only the neat blotchiness of the natural sea sponge, but I'm also getting beautiful glitter in here. I don't want to do too much or I kind of lose my blotchiness, which is exactly what I'm going for in this. So I'm going to stop there, and I'm going to show you one that's done, dried. Again, if you will get the back of your paper wet before you start applying your watercolors to the front, it will lay down flatter on you. It won't bow quite as much as that one did. Here's one that's all finished. See if we can capture that glitter. You see the glitter effect in this? In person, it's stunning. This is the same pattern made with, I think even maybe the same color. I didn't get quite as carried away with daubing on this one. I think this one's actually maybe a little better than the one I just did because it has more character. Let's get a card base here. Make ourselves a card, shall we? I have to, before I come back again, clean up my card stash here because I can't seem to find the card sizes I want. I wanted to show you another thing, but you guys got me when I was off for surgery. You guys got me this whale, which I totally love. It's like one of those pillow pals. Oh my gosh. It's just amazing. Fortunately, I do not have a lot of ink on my fingers right at the moment. So it's like a pillow pal. It's amazing. And you got me that along with, I know that many of you contributed. Thelma sent them forward, but you got me a slug. Only a true friend will send you a slug.
It's supposed to represent a snail.
It is supposed to represent a snail because she sent it together with this storybook, The Snail and the Whale. And it's just a beautifully illustrated, very fun, very positive story about the snail's interaction with a whale. Isn't that fun? And the artwork is just spectacular. So you guys know I'm going to love that. Isn't that fun? Only a true friend can send you a snail. I live in Oregon, though, so snails are like our state animals, I think. It rains a lot here. We have some almost this big. But look at my whale. My whale and my snail and my storybook. I had to bring those in and show you, too, because I just love them. You guys are so thoughtful. Thank you very much. What fun. Hi, Diane. So my snail and my whale storybook. I do love them. You got Ted again.
We should do Teddy Cam before you start.
Huh?
We should do Teddy Cam before you start.
Oh, Bryce says it's time for Teddy Cam. Before we start doing things again, go ahead and bring him over. Teddy Cam. I'm going to cut this card down while you're coming this way, because I didn't have the right size handy. So I'm going to cut this down to a European A6. Yeah, that is what that is. It just didn't look great. Boy, when the cards don't look the right size, I'm out of practice, guys. There we go. All right, Teddy Cam. Come here, Teddy. Would you like to have a little snack? A little snackaroo? Hey, hey, what's Mama got? Oh, he says, I could make time for that. Okay. Come here, baby boy. Come here, baby boy. Can you sit? Do you know how to sit? Do you know how to sit? Can you sit pretty? Oh, yes, you can. Yes, you can. We still have him on a special diet. He shouldn't have this jerky, but he's going to have just a little bit of jerky, the tiniest amount, because he's such a good boy. Here, turn around here so everybody can see you.
Hi, Teddy.
Here, look over here. He said, hey, I've got jerky, guys. I don't know if I have time for you. Whatever my mom does with that jerky in her hand, that's where I want to be. He had a really bad haircut this time. We tried to send him to the person that we know we really like his haircuts from, and Russell had left the salon, so he had a different hairdresser, and it didn't go as well. But hi, can you say hi to everybody? No, show me some more jerky. Hi, everybody. He's my baby. Teddy has been paying a lot more attention to me lately. Can you lay down?
Adeline?
Lay down. Hi, Adeline. You're such a good boy. Okay, one more piece. And Teddy camp time is over. We're fighting an ear infection again. We're pretty sure they're from his allergies, but it could be from the shampoo at the groomers. I'm not sure. Okay, are we done? I think we're done. I do. I think we're all finished. Give me a kiss. Hey. He said, well, I just don't know that I have time for you, Mom, because I'm looking for that jerky. Where's my kiss? I'll take one. Okay. There we go.
Sorry,
Off he runs.
I don't understand.
You don't have to understand, sir. Okay. What was we doing? We were making a card. So we're going to put this beautiful watercolor paper we made on our white card we just cut. I'm going to cut this to, it's actually just the right length now. I'm going to cut it to 3 7/8 wide. I'll have enough in this one piece for 2 cards, which is nice. Pretty. Okay, let's see. And somewhere here, my whole conglomeration of stuff, I'm sure to have tape. I do spot a glue bottle. Use that instead. Where my tape went. But I didn't use my glue since last night, so it's being a little persnickety. I'd have to run a pen down it, but I think we're going to get it. Just strong arm it. Yes, I do love my Ted. Love my Bryce too, I gotta say. Bryce is earning lots of jewels in his crown. I'll tell you, he has just been the absolute best at helping me and being patient with me when I get fussy, and he's quite the guy. Not to mention the fact that he's just a class cameraman. Okay. See you later, Irene. Ooh, this is going to be pretty. How about we use, which one do we want? I have this one. Oh, I think I like the gray one better. I think I like this one better. Okay, I'm going to put a little foam behind this one. It's daring to say, since I haven't looked to see if I have foam squares handy. A little foam behind this. It's even the nice big ones that I love. These are 1/2-inch foam squares, and I've gotten really spoiled. I like the 1/2-inch ones if I have a piece big enough to use the 1/2-inch. I'm going to put this down low enough I can put a sentiment over the top. I think I'll tuck my flowers right into my vase. Thank you, Karen. We're going to look at some more cards here in a minute, including maybe the one that Karen sent recently that I was teasing you with, and I wouldn't tell you what it said. But it arrived at the perfect time when I was really kind of self-doubting a lot, and meant the world to me. Oh, that's so pretty. It's so pretty. I have a sentiment handy that I can use. Yes, I do. Knocking over my bottles. Let's use, I think white might be a good one on here. Well, I do have the black ink, though. I could go either way. Whoop. These are by Creative Expressions. There are still some of these sentiment sheets like this, I believe, out in the spring clearance sale. I'm clearing all the Creative Expressions because they are retiring. I won't be able to get more of it, so when I go to make room, I want to, I like this Make-A-Wish. When I go to make room, I want to use a brand that I'm not going to have to move everything around again. As soon as we get another shipment in, we won't be getting any more of these. Ooh, that's pretty. And I could put foam squares on this, but in the interest of time, I'm going to just put a little Make-A-Wish. Isn't that pretty? Look at the pearlescent effect in those flowers. You see it? That's the pearlescent watercolors. In the background, unfortunately, it's not picking up a lot on camera. It's even more sparkly in the background with that glitter. So we're using 3 different ones here. I mixed regular paint, regular watercolor paint, and the pearlescent in the can. I used all the pearlescence on the blooms, and then I used the Jane Davenport on the background. So we're finished with that for now. Oops, I'm knocking things on the floor again. That was my foam squares. I guess that's okay. And I did do more flowers and things. I might use this can still, this watering can, because I have more to show you. But I wanted to show you, you guys had asked me before about these palettes from Cosmic Shimmer. And I gotta say, they are fabulous. Really, really, really good. Let me get a piece of cardstock out here. Let me get a regular piece of cardstock and a black piece of cardstock out. Bye, Elsie. We're going to look at some of our card samples here in a bit, so if you can stick around, stick around. those of you who can. Okay. This is what my paints are going to look like on the black. But let's just actually use some of these. When you get inside here, there's going to be a plastic sheet of acetate that's over the actual colors. When I first saw that, I thought, well, why would they do that? But then I realized that by having this piece of acetate here, when you're putting your paints away and they're still wet, it kind of helps keep them from mixing. Put the acetate back on, so I did. So I just peel my acetate, and we already have a regular color palette here, so I just want to show you how I'm mixing this. I put 1 drop of paint to the watercolor cake, and then I'm going to mix it really good, allow it to really soak in there and pick up some of that pigment.
1 drop of water.
Excuse me?
You said paint. You mean water?
Oh, yeah, water. Thank you. Let's see. Maybe we should do I'm going to make a background out of this while we're making, huh? Let's just make a background out of it. This would be good with a wider brush. I do have a wider brush sitting here.
Is there just water and a paint pen?
Yes. Yes, it's just water. I'm going to pick up a little more. The next color. Should grab that wider brush, it'd be faster. I'll do it with the next one. These are just beautiful. Now this is on black card. You can do the same thing on white. I like to show you the black because the colors are very different on black than they are on white, even though this isn't officially a inference paint. It just works out that way, that some colors show differently on the black and the white. We have our inks that we call our inference inks, or we don't call them that. What's her face does. Who's our inference inks by? Does the 3B embossing folders. Yeah. My brain went clunk and stopped.
You can see the green folders right there.
Okay. So let's get a bigger brush. I do have a great big one in here. Had it just a minute ago. Yeah, this will work. Needs water in it though. I had somebody send back a set of these brushes saying, Debbie, the brushes are defective. You just can't unwind them. They unwind the wrong direction. So if you get some of these and you're having trouble with them, just turn the opposite direction. And you will find that they will come loose for you. The ones that were returned, I immediately sat down and checked them. They were fine. Lisa Horton, thank you, Mary. Thank you. You stamp an image and use that paint to color it. Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's put a little water on with a wider brush. I do love these watercolor, or these water brushes. If you don't have these and you like watercolors, you really need water brushes because they're so good with the it's a wider tip pen, so I put more water down. So I'm going to have to pick up a little more ink as I go, or paint. But yeah, really get in there and pick up that pigment. Yes, Lisa Horton, Kim, and Mary, thank you for rescuing me. My brain goes clunk and stops sometimes. They say that happens after you've had major medical events. I hope it stops doing that at some point in time. Chemo could do that to you too. They call it chemo brain, but I'm far enough out from chemo. I don't think that should be an issue now, but it might be. Who knows? I don't know how long that stuff sticks with you. But I'm all done with that, so I'm excited about that. And after this week, the way I'm hanging on, heading into this surgery, is knowing that after this week, my body will be cancer-free, and everything else we have to do is just preventative to having it come back. That's actually a very nice thought. I'm going to go back here and repeat these colors instead of using all the colors, and then I'll show you my color swatch again. Because I kind of like the idea of having this varied colors. Loving this. Pretty, 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 pretty. Well, I had brain fog even before this, Kim. It's just a very convenient excuse right now. I don't know what I'm going to use when I get long past the surgeries. I'll have to come up with a better excuse.
Good night.
Oh, Catherine, you're headed out, huh? Okay. We'll see you next time. It might be a little while, but I will be back. Pray for me Wednesday, if you will, please. This is pretty. I like the way this is looking. This will be a fun and interesting background.
Mary P says she had surgery 3 years ago and still is foggy.
Yeah, you still get that brain fog. This is pretty. I like using this as a background or die cutting it. I'm not sure which one I'm going to do yet. It will be very pretty. One more row. The longer you use, or the more you use the cakes, the longer in each session that you use them, the more pigmented your paint can become, because it has that moisture that is feeding it. Oh, that's pretty. Pretty, pretty, pretty. Look at that. So what do you think of these watercolors? Gorgeous, huh? We have these in lots of different palettes. I don't know if we will be able to get them again. I bought what I could get, and I don't know if we'll see these again, but I do really highly recommend these paint pans by Cosmic Shimmer. They are quite beautiful. Let me show you that one more time. Yeah, it really does show off the sheen, doesn't it? I'll show it to you one more time here. Wowzer. Isn't that fun? That's going to be a terrific background. These are the Cosmic Shimmer. This one's called Set 1 Metallics. There's about 9 or 10 of these in total. They're not the least expensive paints we have. They are on sale right now with the Cosmic Shimmer stuff, but they're not our least expensive paints, but they sure do go down beautiful. And I want to show you swatches of all those colors. what I love about this, let's see if I can get this matched the right direction, is comparing the color on black to the color on white. These are the same colors. They're in the same order. So look, for example, at that first green dot on the black. See that that green dot? Yeah, that actually came out as brown. See the green sheen in it on the white? The red next looks pretty similar, although the third spot in that row looks way more golden on black than it did on white. And then we've got the black.
How do you flatten the cardstock?
How do you flatten the cardstock? When everything's dry, you can just bend it back the opposite direction. It's not going to flake off your card, so you just bend them back the opposite direction. When you're doing it, if you think to do it, spray the back of your cardstock while you're working on the front, and it will lay flatter automatically. But if it gets any ripples to it, you just fold it back against itself and you can lay it out flat. Anyway, I think these are beautiful. Let's get this back in the correct orientation. But I think this is really fun. This is the white and the black done with the Cosmic Shimmer Paint Pan. I want to show you a couple other things I did last night. This is similar to what we just did, but I used all the colors on this one. Isn't that pretty? Love that green. It just speaks to me. And then I love the silvers and the whites too. I'm going to take this and I'm going to die cut butterflies out of different parts of it. I think this is going to be beautiful. Okay, let's see what else I have here. I did a little finger painting on the black. All I did was put the colors down with I used these, the liquids, and then I ran my finger through it just like we just did. I used the pearlescence though. Isn't that gorgeous? That's a wonderful background right there. And again, just really, really pretty. This would be fabulous die cuts too, but it would also, isn't that fun? That's watercolors, guys. It's just watercolors. You know me, I like watercolors. Okay, here's the experiment we did in the beginning. Here's our putting the splotches down on wet cardstock. This was not watercolor card. It's a little ripply. But putting the splotches down on wet cardstock and then putting the splotches on dry cardstock and spritzing them after. So another sample I did last night. Here. I was kind of going for a undersea look. It's very juvenile looking, but it's whimsical. I might put a llama or something on here. It ended up looking a little bit more like a desert scene, I think. Some people have said that it looked like it was a sky scene, but I think it'd be cute with a little whimsical character. Here are a couple I did. I'm not going to do this again because we're running out of time and I want to show you some cards and I still have lots of techniques to show you. This one shows the glitter a little bit more. This is taking that stencil and dry brushing. I put my ink down on my glass mat. I wiped most of the ink off of my brush and then I came in and stenciled through with my dry brush. And see all the pretty glittery colors? That's that Jane Davenport paint. This is what happens if you get too much. It kind of goes under your stencil, but even such, I think it's beautiful. Yeah, you're really getting the shimmer on this one that we weren't able to show you before. This is that Jane Davenport, those Jane Davenport colors with the glitter in them. Now, I did one more project last night that I have to show you. I'm so excited about these. Well, I want to show you the materials I was using too. The flowers I'm about to show you come from the Oakberry Lanes stamp. I did not have the dies for these, so I sat here last night and fussy cut all my flowers out because I'd already painted them. Don't fall, don't fall. And then here's my tulip bouquet from Heartfelt Creations. Put a bird on it. Excellent suggestion, Kim. Got to put a bird on it. And here's the dies that match that. I think we still have these in the store. They're beautiful. And then I used the 3D Basics shaping mold, if you happen to have that already. And I created these flowers with my watercolors. Let me just pick them up and bring them in here. Yeah. You are missing your rhinestone. I'll just put one back in there. I made 3 different kinds of rhinestone flowers. I'm loving these. They're such fun. Look at this. I would never, ever have thought of putting that. Come in a little closer on that, honey. Of putting this particular center in this flower, but I sent Mary over in the class last night to find me some rhinestones.
Still.
Oh, sorry. To find me some rhinestones, and she came back. We still have these in the store with these centers. Look what that looks like when we put that in our flower. Come on. Come on.
Maybe you could hold it in your hand so it has something more to focus on.
There we go. Thank you. Look at that inside. Isn't that fun? On this one, I used my yellow pearlescent paints. And then I used my Jane Davenport kind of almost copper color to add some accents to the center. You can see them more in some than others. Here's another. Now I could have put flower stamen in here too, but here's one that I just put a yellow rhinestone in, the smaller ones. You can see the copper more in these. They put in the center of the flowers. Once again, they're just colored. They're just colored on, it's just on regular cardstock, hunky-dory cardstock, and then pearlescent watercolor paints.
What are the center gems called?
Rhinestones. They're also in our store. They're called jewels. Look for jewels, Diane. Jewels. They're under the they're in the products category under embellishment. There's jewels and gems, and that's where you'll find these. We've had several gems lately. So when I put red in the center, we've had several lately that are on our half price sale too, and our $2 sales. So watch for those. Tell you what I'm going to do, because next week's going to be crazy for me. I probably will put the sale up on Monday, the $2 sale. I'll put the sale up on Monday, and I'm going to reactivate each of the other $2 sales we've had this month. So if you missed any of them, you'll be able to go through again and look at the $2 sales. I'm going to leave up right now. I said I was going to end them soon, but there's no reason to end them if I'm not going to be off on screen to promote anything for a while. We're going to, I'm going to leave the spring clearance sale up. That's where you're going to find these creative expressions, like the creative expressions sentiments for half price. That's in the spring clearance sale. And then I'm going to leave the 20% off of all the Cosmic Shimmer, probably for a couple weeks, and hopefully by then I'll be back. But aren't these just fun? I just love them. And I love the different effects. I love having the rhinestones, that this is actually, I think, I'm not sure if this is Jolie or what these are, but they're in the store. These fun centers. Aren't they just fun flower centers? I never would have thought of that. I don't know why, but I wouldn't have. But you get those, you get the red ones. I love the red too, with that coppery kind of, little bit of coppery color in the background. And then the yellow ones. So pretty. So very pretty. And here's my leaves. Even though these were leaves, I put them through the flower press, the Hunky Dory flower press, just to add some dimension and lines to them. And I like the way that turned out. So maybe we should build a card out of these real quick. Let's see. Where's one of my other finished backgrounds? Let's see if these would look good on here. I don't know. They could look pretty on here. Aren't they fun? Love them too. Yeah, I think we'll just make a really simple card with a little greeting and put our flowers and leaves on that. I think that'll be great. And I'm going to use this part where it actually kind of slopped over a little bit. I'm going to use that under the flowers. I'm going to cut down a card again. These cards are a little bit big for what I'm wanting to do with them today. Okay. So 4 1/8. 5 7/8 is my European A6 card, which is my personal favorite size card. And three 7/8 and 5 5/8. The white in the background show just a little. I'm cutting this down a little bit extra, so I may need to stir this up a little bit more. Oh, just thought of something that would be pretty. Maybe one here. Oh. How's that together? That's a little much, I think. A little much. That's maybe a little too much. Oh, but this is not. Okay, taking a piece of this too. I'm going to cut this one off. Cut this card up. And I'm going to make this 3 7/8 by 5 5/8 to go on my card. So I've got this. And then let's see how this goes. I'm going to trim this a little more. Trim this a little more. Yeah, I like that. I like that. Okay. We're going to go ahead and I would look Kim, but I still have several things I want to show you. So I'm going to just whip this together. I don't see my tape. Where is all my tape? Here's some tape. No, that's not regular tape. There's some tape. I found some. Thanks, honey. The yellow background would be beautiful. I completely agree. It would be. I still have one more product I want to show you after we finish this. But in a card making class, we got to always make a card, or try to always make a card. But otherwise, you guys say, oh, that was fun, but what are we going to do with it? Thank you. I appreciate all those prayers. Like I said before, Sharma, I know as I'm sitting here that I am still with you because you guys, everybody prayed when I was so sick. And I know that's why I'm here. And I am so very thankful to the Lord and to you guys for the fact that I got to come back. And I can't say it isn't a little bit scary to go back into surgery this soon again, but it's going to be okay. And when I come out of surgery, I'm going to be cancer free. And there is something big to be said for that. So kind of hurry in here. I got that a little uneven. Probably can't remove that. I'm going to just leave it because of time. But put this down. Yes. You know, prayer's involved when you had a 70% chance of not making it, which is what I had when I had that ruptured colon. And here I am. I'm with you because you guys prayed, and your continued prayers are a blessing to me, and I thank you for that. So I will be gone for a while, hopefully not too long. I do know that because of the mastectomy, they don't want you using your arms much for a while, and that makes it rather difficult to craft. So we'll see how long that takes to come back from that. I don't know what to tell you about that, but I'll be back as soon as I can.
I like to set the camera so you can paint with your toes.
Paint with my toes. So that would be different, wouldn't it? I used to work for business school. And we had a student there. It wasn't my school, it's one of the others. But there was a corporate legend, at least, about the student who learned to type with his feet after his arms were disabled. And Michael used to tell that story about this man who learned to type with his feet. We're just going to pop a few flowers on here so we have a... You want to see me paint the roses with my toes? You may want a lot of things, though. Which is the famous painter? I think I've asked this before. I can't remember which one it is. Somebody taught art literacy, and I can't for the life of me now remember what the painter's name was. But there was one of the famous painters who suffered from debilitating arthritis in his later years. And he had his assistants strap leather straps with paintbrushes and tie them to his arms. And that's how he painted in his later years. And some of his most beautiful work happened in his later years. So in art literacy, we told that story and showed his work, and the kids were all impressed with that. So then we took masking tape and taped paintbrushes to their arms, which they really thought was fun until it was time for the masking tape to come off. And they did not like it pulling the hair on their arms when we took it off. It was fun and funny. But they weren't as happy with me when it came time to take it off. It was a fun lesson, though. The kids could really appreciate what a difficult thing it would have been for him to have painted these amazing artworks with paintbrushes leather tied to his arms. I'm trying to think, it's one of the real masters, and I can't think which one it was. I'm wondering if it might have been Renoir. I don't remember. Thelma, do you remember? Yeah, I probably would. It's probably best I'm not in art literacy anymore. Some parent probably would have sued me. The kids loved me, though. They forgave me by the time it was time for me to come back and do something else fun. Do you remember which painter that was, Thelma? I don't remember which one it was. Are you looking it up, Bryce? No, you're looking at something else. I can't remember. It was one of the masters, though. Renoir, I think, maybe. Anyway, it is an inspirational story, and just knowing that, people are amazing sometimes. People can be amazing what they can do when they set their minds to it. I'm not sure it was Renoir, but I'm kind of thinking in that direction. My glue has been in here since August of 24, the bottom of this bottle says, and it's telling me that I need to get this bottle used up. Put fresh glue in, because it's probably spent way too much time in the classroom with the cap off. Should be fine from August to now, but in classes they sit with the caps off of them a lot. We're quilling and doing other things. Tuck that leaf out from under there a little bit. Still have one more technique I want to show you, and you guys are going to really like this material. So stick with me if you can, and I still want to show you a few cards. We may go right up to the 2-hour mark today, but we won't go over, because I may need to use this video for a repeat while I'm off. I can't go over 2 hours or it won't load. That limits the videos that I can replay for you. That's it. Renoir. Okay, thank you, Kim. Very, very good. Yeah, he had to be the guy then. And his assistant strapped paintbrushes with leather ties to his arms. Thank you for looking that up. Yeah, it was Renoir then. I was thinking it was, but I wasn't positive. It's been too many years. Too much water under the bridge since I taught art literacy. Wow, which would now be almost 20 years ago. Can you believe that, honey? Wow. Because I taught it when our girls were in grade school. Wow. I'm too young to think I did things like that 20 years ago. Ooh, isn't that pretty? Let's have a little flower tucking out from underneath. That would be fun. Oops. Lost its rhinestone. Yeah, we'll find another one. I like this. And let's do one more of these. Always best to have an odd number of blooms. I don't know why that is, but that is a truth in arranging flowers. It tends to be. You don't always have to. There's no hard and fast rules in any art form. But it does tend to be true that you will like your results better if you looky here, guys. Look, hon. How's that? Wowzer. Okay, I think I'm impressed with us, guys. I think I'm impressed with us. If I wanted to put a greeting on here, I think I'd put a white one with black lettering. Isn't that beautiful? I'm so happy with that. Ooh, shiny's good. Shiny's almost always good. And then I have all these beautiful flowers left with the red centers. I have 3 of those. That'll make a nice arrangement. I actually have a couple little ones with red centers. Looks like I might have to make a few more leaves, but and then I have these with the yellow centers. So I have enough to make a couple more cards. Isn't that fun? Okay, I'm going to move these off to the side because I have one more technique that Margie asked me to get in today. And since Margie's going to be covering for me in my absence again, I have to take care of Margie. Okay, I want to show you something else that we brought in that is really, really nice. I'm going to find some good colors. This is called Botanical Stains. They're by Sam Poole. It's grape, Italian plum. Let's use Italian plum. Woad blue now. The green one, carrot top. Hibiscus. Sandalwood.
There's a little color chart right on the front of them.
Maybe I don't have a green one. Wedgwood blue. It's a gray. Pink. Maybe I don't have blue. Orange would be pretty. Okay, well, I'm just going to use some other colors here. These are Botanical Stains by Sam Poole at Cosmic Shimmer. And I'm going to create a background using these colors. This will be Italian plum.
Teresa is asking, where were your flowers from?
The flowers were from...
You made them.
I did make them. Yes, I did make them. And I used the Oakberry Lane Blossoms stamp set. I hand cut them because I didn't have the dies left. And I used the Floral Basics shaping mold from Heartfelt Creations to give them texture. And then they were painted with my pearls paints. Okay, I'm going to take some of this and I'm going to put it out on my canvas.
You have to shake these up.
I shake them just a little because they haven't been, they've been on the shelf for who knows how long. Some orange. Yes, these are from UK. They're Cosmic Shimmer. And Cosmic Shimmer, as we know, has been sold to Katie Sue Designs. I'm not sure which products Katie Sue will and will not bring in. So the brand has been sold to Katie Sue. So I have them now. I cannot tell you whether I know they will be back. When we're done, we may be done. Okay, I'm going to lay my cardstock right on top of these pretty inks. I'm going to move it around just a little bit.
What kind of cardstock you're using?
Well, this is watercolor, but I could use whatever. A watercolor might be a good choice, though, because this is a wet medium. And here is my background. I'm going to spray this a little on the back, which I should have done before I started. And if I want to redip, I can. The colors I chose are really pretty. They could get really muddy if I'm not careful. But I actually like that a lot. And this is Botanical Stains. Now, not only can you do this with Botanical Stains, you can also, I want some more color in here. You can also use this with a brush and stain the edges of your cards, your cardstock, your projects. Use it like an ink to stain the edges. I think I want a little more purple. It's tea leaves. I got a lot of tea leaves in there. Italian plum. Let's put a little bit more Italian plum down. Just see if we can get a little bit more of that purple back in there. I like that purple in it. It's good to dry a little between colors. I'm not doing it in the interest of time, but it would have been a good thing to dry between the colors. Another thing you can do with these, look at that. Isn't that pretty? How beautiful is that? This is a water-based product. I'm liking that a lot. I'm really liking that. Wow, I like that. Let's, I can't help myself, guys. Tea leaves we already have plenty of. The plum we have plenty of. Now I could also, this is the marigold. Might like a little marigold in there still. Let's add a little marigold to it too. Kind of got a concentration of tea and not a lot of my other colors. I want some marigold. It is best to dry it between colors, but I'm not doing it. I could use my heat gun and dry it. Oh, there we go. Now I'm liking it better. I just needed more color on my just tea. If you wanted tea stain papers, take the tea and put it down. You get beautiful tea stains. Very earthy. I like it a lot. It's going to be very pretty background. That is the Botanical Stains. Now, he also demonstrated in his video, there's a nice video online from Sam Poole, who's the inspiration behind these. There's a nice video, and he put his stamps down. I don't know if I have one that's appropriate to this. He put his stamps down, or his ink down on his pad, and then he just patted a rubber stamp around in it, and then just stamped it here and there on his paper to give background and texture, picking up extra ink. But I do like that a lot. Okay, I've been promising you we're going to do a few more of your cards. I want to do that before everybody gets away, because lots of you have left already. I know it's a long class today. Oops, I gotta keep these out because those are the ones I'll keep. I've used. All right, now, let's get some of your cards out and see some more samples you guys have made. Pull a bunch of these. Okay, this one's from Jane Corbani. Isn't that beautiful? I love that corner treatment, the way she's brought those flowers in on the corner and the 3D. That is so pretty. And it says, "You're so amazing." This was a birthday card. Some purples. Of course I love it. Thank you, Jane. Here is another card. It's a birthday card by Mary T. Wishing you nothing but blue skies, warm sunshine, and bright smiles on your special day. And she sent me a peacock. That is a peacock, right? Yeah, it's a peacock. I do love peacocks. I love them. I love them. I love them. This is a fun one. Done with die cuts. I love this. This is from Mary. I believe that is Mary who works here, Mary Dunham. But if it's a different Mary and I'm not attributing that correctly, please let me know and I will attribute it properly. But happy birthday, all done with die cuts. And then a pop-up gifts in the center with word celebrate. Isn't that fun? That's so cute. I also love the way she cut this around the mat inside and has that layered color with the stars. Just really beautiful sense of balance in this card. Pretty, pretty, pretty. Lots of die cutting. This is fabulous. This one is a sympathy card that was sent to us from Lisa Dutz, who's one of my local customers. Look at this. It's done with a squirrel because Bob loves squirrels so much. I love this, the way she's used this corrugated paper and the plaid together. What a nice touch that is. And then the little rhinestones. How beautiful is that, guys? It looks almost like she's used an embossing glaze, or she just painted and put glossy accents on. I'm not sure which, but it's beautiful. Here's another card I just got from one of my students. Well, actually, I guess it's older now, but happy birthday card from Stephanie in my quilling class. Look at this card, guys. Is that beautiful or what? Now, that looks so involved, doesn't it? Doesn't it just look like they'd take forever to do?
Yeah.
No, it doesn't. I love the variegated petals, though. Isn't that pretty? And then she's put it on an embossed background, and she has used mirror board with some kind of paint splattered on the mirror board. I love that. That's fun. Yeah. Very nice card from Stephanie in my quilling class. Here's a beauty. Oops. Oh, this one with a Lisa Dutz card. This is gorgeous. Thinking of you with deepest sympathy. And this was from Annette and Company. Annette, Lyle, and family. Isn't that beautiful? I love the Z fold on the card. It's just gorgeous. Beautiful, beautiful work, Annette, if you happen to be watching this later. Love this. I'm so far behind in showing you guys cards. I'm going clear back to December here, but this is one actually I made. It was in my office and it got picked up with the cards, but I liked it. Little die cut leaves on a netting background, wrapped around green cardstock and then put on plaid. Isn't that fun? This is some of our woven iridescent ribbon in the green and brown. I really like this card. But it was by me, so it's not signed. Thanks so much with a hedgie. I think this one's from Roberta, but the little sticky inside is gone. I think this was from Roberta. Not positive. It's got that same green iridescent ribbon. I love the thanks so much. It's cut out as a, what do they call those dies that go over the edge? I think they're called over the edge dies. And then she cut it out and put it on here. Isn't that just so cute? And this is using our glitter and glaze technique on that hedgie. What a beautiful bow. Oh, handmade by Roberta. Yes, there it is. Roberta. Thank you, Roberta. That was beautiful. So some of these have been in here for a while because I just had them gather what was in my office because some of the more recent cards ended up in my office with the others. This is, this is a happy birthday card from Linda Davis. I love the way she made this quilting pattern. It's all different 1-inch squares. Isn't that pretty? I love her combination of colors there. It's just beautiful. Linda Davis. A happy birthday card. I love that. This is such a neat idea and so easily executed, but you have to think of it, and it's gorgeous. And then this with the coordinating colors and the die cuts, I think that's just beautiful. Keep an eye on my time. Don't let me go over because we'll want to maybe recycle this video. Okay, this is from Mary R. and Gemma. Just a quick note to let you know you're thought of and prayed for often, from Mary R. Beautiful. What was the name of this collection? I can't remember what it's called. Aquamarine, aqua something, but it's beautiful. I love, 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 Mary, that acetate and the paper combined. And your pretty little edging on here really sets that off. Here is a rooster card. And this is from Sunny. We see Sunny on here every once in a while. She comes on. And Deborah, she was on here Wednesday. And she made me that rooster. Isn't that cute? Love this. Look at that. With that die cut, those double dots. I just love that. It's so simple and yet it's so classy. It's very, very pretty. From Sunny. Wishing you a fabulous day with lavender. This is from Robin, who's also one of my in-class people. I like that. Just very pretty. Robin joined us a while back. She didn't think she could make a card. Now look at her go. Okay, this is the one that I said I got from Karen, and the timing could not have been better. Karen, if you're watching this later, I want you to know your timing was impeccable. Now, Karen does not use cutting dies. All of this is scored, cut, and done by hand. And I was feeling particularly vulnerable at the time I got this card. In fact, I had said something about feeling like I had clown hair when I was on the video that week. And she just sent me this card with a simple statement, "You're beautiful." And her timing could not have been better. It meant the world to me, still does, Karen. Sending you lots of love and positive energy. Warmest hugs from Karen. Isn't that beautiful? That's from our Karen. All hand cut. I'm always impressed that she's hand cutting those. I wouldn't do it, but she will. This is from Mary Dunham, who works with us. This is a little book page. This is a little book page with a stamp congratulations and the little cowfolk on it. Isn't that cute? I'm sure it's from Mary. Yeah. Congratulations on your last chemo treatment. That was that card. Okay. And thinking of you often. I love this one too. Got a little belly band to hold it closed. This is from all our crafty friends. So I'm guessing Mary might have sent this, Mary R, because she's very good at doing that on behalf of the group. Thinking of you. It's got a pretty bookmark in it. We miss you, but understand you need this time to heal and recover. Margie and Bryce are doing a great job. Both are naturals. Your friends are praying for you. You are safe in God's hands. Love, your crafty friends.
On the back, there's a...
Handmade for Debbie. But I'm sure it was, I'm not positive, actually. I believe it was probably Mary that sent it, because she's very good about sending things out on behalf of our crafty friends group here. And how am I doing? I still got a few more minutes. Got a few more in. If you don't see your card here, it's because I still have more that we haven't been through yet. And I won't stop till I show them all. This is beautiful. Happy birthday. And it's got a French perfume label. Beautiful. This is Laurel. It's from Laurel. Yes, this is from Laurel. It took me a second to read her writing. Happy birthday from Laurel. Beautiful, Laurel. Love this. Oh my gosh, I love animals. Sending birthday wishes. This one's got a hippopotamus on it. Why do these things make me so happy? I don't know. They just do. They just do make me happy. There it is. Just couldn't get it open. This is from Alice. This is Bryce's birthday. Alice sent this to Bryce. Isn't that fun? I just love that. Look at the layering she did with the squares, guys. See the different layering she did? I love that. And then use that to frame some of her background elements. You are right, Sharma. She's an absolute blessing to us. A birthday card for Bryce. Alice's Art from the Heart, it says on the back. What is your Snoopy card? Here, Debbie, fondly, Mary R. Sometimes happiness looks like staying home, minding your business, and telling people no. Telling people no and doing you. This was from Mary R. That was Valentine's card. That's funny. And thinking of you. This is from Mary R. I've got lots of cards from Mary. Remember, at our age, we get to celebrate all month long. Praying for you, love, Mary R. That was a birthday card from February. Beautiful flowers and candles. I love that. You guys spoil me. Thinking of you. I love this. I love this. This is from Mary P. Mary's on here today, I think, unless she's left us. Look at this background. I love this. She's embossed it and inked it. Oops, shaking my hand, shaky, sorry. And then she used the same color of paper to cut her vines. Isn't that beautiful? I think that is so gorgeous. I love that, Mary Panko. And I remembered you loved purple after I made this card. Maybe if you squint, this will look purpley. I think it does. I don't have to squint to see that. Hope you'll soon be on the mend and able to do classes again. Surgeries are never pleasant, but recuperation times, God gives us the strength to soldier on. Get well soon. Isn't that beautiful? I absolutely love this, Mary Panko. I hope you see this. I love this. All right. This is especially for you. This is from Irene. This was a birthday card. Thank you, Irene. Very pretty. Very pretty. Isn't it neat how you can take a strip and go across the top and just kind of bring everything together? I love that. Very pretty, Irene, sorry. This is from my Aunt Sandy, and it's not a handmade card, but it would be so easy to make. I kept it with my handmade cards. She's got a honeycomb texture in the back, and then you run jute through a tag and say, "Be well." That would be so easy to do, and isn't it cute? Oh, you may have missed yours. We talked about yours a minute ago, so be sure you back up a little bit when we're done here and catch my comments, because your card was just such a blessing to me. All of these cards have been a blessing to me. I want you to know that it just means the world to me. This brings a wish for all the best, for all the best a day and year can bring, for someone who should always have the best of everything. Happy birthday. This is from Alice. And look at the butterflies in purple. It doesn't get better than butterflies in purple. Ah, so pretty. Okay. This, again, is not a handmade card, but I thought it was beautiful, and it was a good inspiration piece. Sending get well prayers to you, and the way they kind of made a wreath out of those flowers. I thought that was a lot of fun. That was from my friend Rita. This is pretty. Now, talk about backgrounds I would not think to put together. This, Elsie made this one. And this is backgrounds I'm not sure I ever would have thought to put together, but how beautiful is that? Kind of folksarty. I love that. You got those cherries, I think it's cherries, in the background, that plaid paper, the orange, the green accent behind the plaid. It's just stunning. Just stunning the way you put those together. Little jewel dazzles. I love it. It's fun, Elsie. That's from Elsie in Norway. I always love to read Elsie's cards because she usually explains something about a Norwegian tradition in her cards. This one's beautiful. This one is also from Elsie. Look at this one. All the beautiful tulips. Love that. Love that, love that. Happy birthday. And then she writes it in Norwegian. I love the fact that she gives me Norwegian lessons every time with the cards. It just makes me happy. So Elsie, if you're seeing this, know that it makes a difference to me that you do that. Okay, look at this thing. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. This is from Niller's and Kevin. Niller's in Hawaii. Look at this card. It's purple. It's a peacock. It is beautiful and elegant. And oh, I just so love it. Niller's. And then she did, it's like label maker printing inside in gold. Isn't that fun? And there's another peacock on the inside. Love it, Niller's. Niller's and Kevin in Hawaii. Hello on Niller's, if you're watching. Thinking of you. This is from Sunny. Look at this one. It's such a simple card and is so beautiful. It's on a dark green cardstock. Then that nice plaid, kind of mustardy colored plaid pattern. And then her daffodils using the same foliage as the card base and the background sheet. I just love this. It's so pretty, Sunny. You have a really good eye when it comes to making your cards. Little stickles in there. Never hurts on flowers. It's from Sunny. This one. Oh, this is fun. This is a fun one. This is from Mary Dunham that works here. And she was sending strength. And look at this one. Isn't that fun? Sending you strength.
Probably wrap it up.
Okay. Yeah, I got just a couple minutes. So while I'm doing this, if you haven't already left a thumbs up, please do that. I love it. It makes me happy, and it tells YouTube that you guys are happy with the classes that you're getting and the time we're spending together. This is from Kim Ramirez. Kim's on here, I think. Oh, she may have gone to grade papers. I hope she comes back and sees the cards, because this is from Kim and Girls. And this is a Get Well card. You're not alone in the journey. Thank you, guys. That's beautiful. Look at this one. If you're not a subscriber to our channel, hit that subscribe button. I got to keep talking here, or Bryce won't let me show this last couple. If you're not a subscriber, hit that subscribe button. We have fun always. Not to mention the fact that you get to see these beautiful, beautiful, beautiful cards. This is a happy birthday card. And it's actually double-sided. Look at this. It comes up in the middle. This was from Kim. Wow, that's beautiful. Look at that. It pops up. It's a pop-up card. So when you push this up on the bottom, that center piece pops up. Then she's got a beautiful T folder on the back. And I'm still not done, but this is our last one because I don't want this to go over 2 hours, because you probably will see this again while I'm gone. Many happy returns. I love this. Ooh, this is from Irene. And this was to Bryce, I believe. Isn't that pretty? The sea ship on it. So I have more, but I got to stop there. When we sign off, tell me what you like the best about today's class. Just hit that refresh button up in the upper left-hand corner of your screen. Leave us a comment. I read them all. I respond to them all. And I love spending time with you. Thank you so much, my crafty friends. You are a blessing to me. And I will see you soon. I don't know when, but soon. I get through surgery this coming week and then see how long it takes to be able to use my arms. But I'll be checking in on you anyway, watching the videos and stuff. So be good, and I'll see you soon. And for now, I'm going to say good night, Gracie.